Hello students, today we will continue learning the poem The Naming of Cats. We have completed 3 stanzas of the poem the previous class, and today we will continue the 5th stanza of the poem. So we begin recalling the poem what we have learned in the previous class. Who is the writer of the poem? The writer of the poem, The Naming of the Cat, is T.S. Eliot. So here, the writer says, if you want to give a name to anybody, whether it is a newborn child or whether it is a pet, it is very difficult to think which name could go with, isn't it? If you want to give any name to your pet or any newborn child, it is very difficult to think which name should go with it. And we ask each and everyone to give a new name. Okay? So here the poet says that the reader may think he is crazy. Crazy means he is mad, because he believes that a cat must have 3 different names. We have learned in the previous class. Okay? And the first type of name a cat should have is a name that a family uses. First name the family uses. What are the names you remember? Such as Peter, Augustus, Angelo, or James, such as Victor or Jonathan, George or Bill Bailey. These are the names the writer gives to use in the family use. Okay? And we remember the second stanza. Again he says, the second type of name that a cat should have a fancy name. Which are the fancy name the writer gives to the cat? And it sounds sweet, he says, such as Plato, Amandus, Eltra, and Demeter. Okay? Again the poet says a cat will be able to keep up his tail perpendicular. Perpendicular, I have given you the meaning that strange, the meaning of perpendicular, okay? Or spread out his whiskers or cherish his pride. He is given a name that is particular. So the last, third stanza what we have learned. The poet says a cat will be able to keep up his tail perpendicular or spread out his whiskers or cherish his pride if he is given a name that is particular. Okay? Till that much part we have learned in the previous class. So let us continue with the 5th stanza of the poem. So take page number 49. Names that never belong to me more than one cat. But above and beyond, there is still one name left over. And that is the name that you never will guess. The name that no human research can discover. But the cat himself knows and will never confess. So in the stanza what the writer says, so the third type of name that a cat must have is the one that no one can guess or discover. The third type of name a cat must have is that nobody could know that name or no one even guess or discover. It is different from the other. The two type, as it knows only the cat who will never confess. Okay, so the writer says here, the third type of a name a cat must have is the one that no one can guess or discover, and it is different from the other two types which we have already learned in the first and second stanza. It is different from the other two, and it is known only to the cat. Who knows that name, this particular name? Only to the cat. Okay, and who will never confess, and he will never say to anyone. Okay, children, so let us move to the last stanza of the poem. When you notice a cat in profound meditation, profound means here in a deep meditation is a deep thought, a profound meditation. When you see a cat in a deep thought, the reason I tell you is always the same. His mind is engaged in a rapt contemplation. Engaged means busy. He is busy in a deep observation. Rapt contemplation means he is in a deep observation of thought of his name. He is ineffable, affable, and ineffable. Deep and inscrutable singular name. So the meaning is here, ineffable means here, what's the meaning of ineffable? Unable to express. Unable to express. And ineffable. What is the meaning of that new word, ineffable? That is a made up word that has no meaning. That particular word has no meaning at all. It is a made up word. It's a fancy word. Okay? Ineffable. Ineffable means unable to express, and inscrutable. The meaning of inscrutable is difficult to understand. Difficult to understand. Okay. So here what the poet says. At the end of the stanza, the last stanza, the poet says, when the cat is in profound meditation, when you see a cat sitting alone and thinking over and over, it's his singular name, his thinking is deep, he's in a profound meditation, he's in a deep thought. What he's thinking of? Thinking of the singular name, which no one knows, only the cat alone knows. Normally, it is thinking about the singular name, and again he says, when they are not asleep, the cats are in deep observation of the thought of their singular name. So the last stanza, the writer says, when you see a cat in sitting alone and thinking, it is thinking about the singular name. And he is in a deep meditation of the thought of that particular name, which anybody know or no one could guess it. Only who knows the name? The cat alone knows the particular name. Okay, children, that's all today. I hope you have understood the poem. We have left out the last stanzas, the fourth and fifth stanza. And I have explained the meaning and the difficult words also in this class. So now you have to prepare for the periodical text. The portion is completed. And we will be preparing for the periodical text, learning it thoroughly and writing the exam well. Okay, students, thank you for listening.